Hi everyone and welcome to The Naked Truth. I am Jennifer Bleecher. I am one of your hosts this evening, and my other host is the awesome, the amazing Gastric Tiger, Scott. I'm so happy to have you with us tonight. Scott, who do we have with us tonight?
All right, guys. Tonight we have Pete SleeveRocker with us. We all know him as the community's buff dude, and we have Keisha Positive Girl with us. So it's so glad to have you guys with us tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So Jen, it's back to you for community stuff, right?
Community celebrations?
Community celebrations, right.
Yeah. I made that a mouthful, didn't I?
Yes.
I should have just kept it shout-outs. I don't know. I had to be different.
Yeah.
Okay, so here are the shout-outs or the community celebrations for this last month since we've had the show. I'm going to start with people who either have had surgery or are about to have surgery very soon. Christy Orr, Asha Scott, Tammy Mezzo-Lopez, Brands, VSG Story, and Justifying Jen. So congratulations to all of you.
Congrats.
Very, very exciting time. I remember that time. I only have one surgiversary to celebrate, and that's Valerie Springer, and she also has made it to goal. So we have two celebrations for her, surgiversary and she made it to goal. So congratulations. Woo-hoo.
Awesome.
Woo. And then a lot of people have hit that 100-pound mark over this last month. Christy Collins, Courtney Simpkins, Cece VSG Ingram, Trisha Pretty, and Debbie Gordon Bernacki. So congratulations to all of you.
Awesome.
Yay. Feel free to cheer and applaud. When I had the Michigan ladies on, they were so good at that. I was like, I'm going to have you back every week. Okay, we have a couple people who made it to Wonderland, Becca VSG and Angela Anderson. Welcome to Wonderland. And several people who have had plastics, Dennis Vinay, Gracie, No One's Stopping Me But Me, Graham Waugh, is that how you say his last name? Do you know? Graham Waugh?
I'm not sure.
He's one of our British friends. And Jalyn. And Jalyn had her surgery with Dr. Kath. She was one of the grant recipients for the WSFA received a grant for plastic surgery this year. So
yeah, that
was very cool. So that's it. So congratulations, everybody. We're so very happy for you. And I'm sorry I missed it because I had noise coming in from the other thing. But did Pete and Takesha already share their stats with us, like what the surgeries they had?
They have not yet.
Okay, well let's do that next. So we'll go ahead and start with let's start with Takesha. Can you tell us a little bit about the surgery you had and what your stats are?
So I had the gastric bypass Roux-en-Y surgery here in Nashville, Tennessee, by the illustrious George Lynch out of what used to be Baptist, what is now St. Thomas Midtown Hospital, downtown Nashville. And I had that surgery on December 19th, 2012. Let's see, highest weight was 256 pounds, recorded weight. And last time I weighed in, I was 147, so about 110 pounds, 111 pounds down, 109 pounds down, excuse me. So yeah. Still working on getting back down to my goal weight of 135, but I've been lifting, so there I am, so yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed it. Did you say how tall you were?
Oh, no, I'm 4'11".
4'11", okay. Awesome. It helps me put things in perspective because 135 seems so incredibly tiny to me.
Yeah.
So, okay. And how about you, Pete? What are all your stats?
Oh, let's see. I had surgery April 2012, so I'm about 28 months out now.
Yeah.
My highest ever weight was 407 pounds. That was a few years ago, but when I started the process, I was 376, and then 350 at surgery, and I'm 178 now. I've actually gotten down, I actually went down to, I think, 167, which is actually the borderline for normal weight for someone my height. 5'9".
Yeah.
I was there for about a week, and I said, "That's it. We're going back up."
Yep.
That was ridiculous because wait, you was borderline like you were almost too skinny, or you were almost normal.
So that was just into normal.
See, because you were like,
Yeah.
I remember you at that time, and you were so skinny.
Yeah. It was
I can't believe
ridiculous
that's
skinny.
like,
I
yeah.
remember lying on my bed and like my rib cage would drop below my rib cage would drop like 4 inches. Like I felt like I was like a starving person, you know? Like it just had that. I had nothing left to me. That's what it felt like. But you got to remember too, a lot of that weight. I mean, since I was 407 pounds, I mean, I don't know how much extra skin I have. 10 pounds, 15 pounds. I mean,
Right.
I'm probably getting, closer to the underweight category, I think.
Yeah.
If I'm back to that. And I had my surgery in Montreal. I'm in Canada. Dr. Oliver Court was my surgeon, in case there's any Canadians out there watching who are interested in having surgery. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. So before we get to the online questions, Scott, what did you compete in this weekend?
Oh, yesterday I competed in what was called the Rugged Maniac, which is a 5K that was lots of hills with lots of mud, and there were 25 obstacles along the way. So it was awesome. I went over hills of mud, under mounds of mud, jumping over big old trenches. Actually, I my ankle while I was doing that, but I finished the race too, though. But that it was so much fun. Lots of mud. It was just a blast. If anybody has a chance to do that, I highly recommend you do it, because every time you come up against another obstacle, you look at it and you're like, there's no way I can get over that 8-foot wall. That's just like impossible. No one can do that. But then you get up there and you start doing it, and then you do it and you're like, holy crap, I have superpowers.
Yeah, I'm always so impressed by that, Scott, when you tell us some of your things, because I look at these things and I'm like, no. If I was to do it, I would have to train for like 3 months, like beforehand, like lifting myself over obstacles and climbing walls. Otherwise, I just,
Yeah.
But so you just went up there and did it.
Yeah. So I have this normie friend who he's been, really slim, really fit his entire life, and we actually had a conversation while we were running where he was talking about how he used to, when I first started getting involved in these sort of things, he'd look at it and say, well, it'd be fun because I get to do something with Scotty, my friend. And now he looks at it and he's like, I wonder if I can keep up with him. So it's just a completely different way of looking at things.
And show us what you have around your neck there.
Here is the medal that I got for being a rugged maniac.
That's so cool.
So
okay, Scott, how long did it take you to finish this one?
This one we actually took about I think it took about 2 hours total, but we were taking our time with this one. Okay. We weren't really trying to push the time. But if we were running most of it, it would have been only like an hour and a half at the very most. When I did the Tough Mudder, I did it in 4.5 hours. And that
4.5 hours, okay.
Yeah, and that was 13 miles. So that was booking it.
So I will always remember the way you described that race to me. Do you remember when you described that race to me? Where were we at? Some amusement park.
Yeah, we were at Worlds of Fun.
Worlds of Fun, and you were explaining the race to me, and I kept thinking, why would anybody want to do that?
Yeah, I mean, you pay hundreds of dollars to torture yourself for a day. It's more or less what you do. It's like, hey, what would be like the most grueling thing I could possibly do with my body for a day? Oh, I'm going to pay to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but you get cool swag and some good
photos. Yeah, you do. You get like mad respect.
Definitely mad
respect. Oh, yeah, absolutely mad respect.
Street cred.
Yeah.
That's right.
Takesha, I know I've seen like you've done some like runs too, haven't you, Takesha?
Yeah, I at the end of last year, I was with Kale's journey, which she's kind of left the community as far as the weight loss community. But anyway, we were doing a challenge, and something in me was like, okay, I need to start running. And so one day we were at Jamie and I were at the gym, and I was like, I'm just going to try for 3 miles. I'm going to see how I do. And I did 3 miles. At that time, it was like 35 minutes. And I was just so astonished, like, oh, my God, how did this even happen? I just kept pushing. I just kept going. And so since then, I have been trying to maintain that for a while now. So since January up until, I would say, May, I really didn't do too many runs. I was more focused on weightlifting, but now I'm back into running. So like this past Thursday, I think I ran like 3.15 miles on my lunch break, and that's normally when I work out. So anytime you see me, it's like a couple hours after the fact that I've had lunch. And so that's where I do all my foolishness and all my workouts is on my lunch break.
Isn't it cool that you can just do like 30 minutes like that now? Like,
I know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Never would have thought it.
Well, I have some more questions about that, but I don't want to leave out the people who submitted questions, so we'll do that first, and then because I can get sidetracked, so I need to do that first. Get that done first. So let's start with, let's see, Liz Lagrini asks, what would be your best advice for newbies just starting exercise? That's a good question. What type of exercise do you believe would be the best for entry level? No bike riding, though. Sorry, Mr. SleeveRocker. Okay, so let's start with Pete for this one. What would you suggest to somebody just starting an exercise program?
Well, first of all, this is what I always tell people. When you first start a program is you really want to do something that you'll enjoy doing, and you want to get into the habit of doing something.
Right.
And that's the most important thing. So if you enjoy walking, then walk every day for 30 days. You know, if you enjoy doing a variety of things, then sign up for 3 or 4 classes at the gym and do that for like a month at a time. You want to get into that habit of like exercise as part of your routine, you know? And, you know, make the adjustments in your life so you can make that work. But if I was to say a routine, then, you know, you want to split your time, you know, do half your time doing some kind of a cardio thing and half your time lifting weights or doing some, I don't know, cross-training type stuff, whatever it is you enjoy.
And how much time should they start with?
Well, whatever you can do. I mean, I think that's, I mean, when I started out, I was 15 minutes on the treadmill and I was done. So you do what you can, you know, and you just try and keep pushing it, you know, week after week to do more or more intense.
Yeah, Pete, I think you hit on really the main key, though, is making it a habit. And even if that means you go to the gym and you put on your gym clothes and then you walk back out the door, at least you made it to the gym that day. And you do that until, you know, and more than likely if you put your gym clothes on, you'll work out for 10 minutes. And then, you know, as long as you start making it a habit of putting in the time to do the exercise, eventually the exercise will just be part of your life.
I totally agree with that. If I can piggyback on Pete, I think the same. You have to, whatever it is you're going to do, you have to enjoy it. And that's what I kind of find myself doing now, is finding things that I enjoy. So right now I'm part of this BBG community. I found this community on Instagram, but it's Kayla S. Einstein's, and she has a 12-week program. Starting out is the BBG first, or I guess the first group. And it's just where you're doing several different exercises each day. You're doing some walking, and it's really intense, but it's really proving to be really helpful for what I need, which is to kind of break up my monotony of my cardio and then my weightlifting. So, but to piggyback on him, you really need to make sure that whatever you're doing, you really want to enjoy it. So when I first started, I was walking. And then after walking, I was like, okay, let me try to jog. And then after jogging, I was like, okay, well, let me get on the treadmill. And then let me do something, you know, with group fitness. And then, you know, I want to weightlift now, so let me get involved with that. You want to research and make sure that whatever you're doing, that one is going to be beneficial to you and that you're not going to hurt yourself. So, you know, maybe have a conversation with your doctor and say, okay, these are things that I want to do. What do you suggest? And kind of go from there. But definitely you got to love it.
Well, the thing is, though, I mean, I think a lot of people just heard us say that, you know, do something that you enjoy, and they're like, I don't enjoy doing exercise.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
but yeah, but they might enjoy it after they get started.
And exercise doesn't have to be exercise. You know what I'm saying? Like when I do my videos, I hope that you can see me having fun, because that's exactly what I'm doing. My exercise is dancing. I love to dance. So if you can kind of, you know, change your mindset into thinking, you know, okay, well, dancing is a great workout, but it's not really a workout. It's just me dancing. And so I'm able to still burn calories doing something that I love. So that's kind of what I was saying about, you know, making sure you're enjoying what you're doing.
You can also, like, you know, if you enjoy listening to music, you can download an album and go for a walk.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like watching YouTube, you can, you know, bring your phone onto the treadmill, you know, and you can tag it with other entertainment that you're doing, basically.
Right.
Exactly. I just recently subscribed to audible.com. Do you guys subscribe to that? It's so now I can get books and like listen to books while I work out. I love it. Sometimes I even like, well, I'm able to get a book that I need to read for work, and I can, so I'm like working while I'm exercising, and it's really cool to get that done. Okay, I have a quick little thing, and then I have a couple questions for Takesha about what she just said. Gastric Rose, hi Mama Rose. She just sent me a PM. Hey. Apparently, some people aren't able to comment on tonight's show. I don't know why that's happening. Some people are, because we are getting comments. So if you're not able to comment, it might be because of you're commenting from a phone. That's usually the problem. I don't know why that happens. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So for a temporary solution for that, if you can't comment live on the stream and we're friends on Facebook, send me a PM and I will get your question to these two. Okay? Okay, so back to Takesha. You mentioned that you started out by walking. How long did you walk when you first started?
When I first started, this was directly after my surgery, so I would try for 20 minutes, try to walk for 20 minutes, and then I would go from, and this was just straight in my neighborhood, and so I went from straight 20 minutes to 30 minutes. And then I went to the Greenway, and I tried to just do 2 miles, and whatever 2 miles consisted of as far as time, you know, I would try to do it for that long. So I just kind of inched my way up to running, because that was like my thing. I wanted to be able to say that I could run and be a runner, which, I mean, it's great work. It's a great workout, but you know, I kind of don't need that. I love the feeling that you get afterwards after running, but it's kind of it's sort of like an option to my other workout. So, but yeah, about 20 minutes is what I started out doing.
Sorry. Somebody just PM'd me a very inappropriate question, which I will not be answering.
You know, everybody has interesting answers.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, I'll answer it. The answer is yes.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, when I said PM me questions, I meant like questions for our guests, not inappropriate questions for me. Okay. Woo, back to Takesha. Takesha, so you were talking about weightlifting, and this is really interesting to me because I've just recently started weightlifting, and it's really changing my body. But I want to know at what point you started. When did you start?
I want to say I started, gosh, maybe 3 to 4 months after my surgery, and I really went hard about 6 months after my surgery. So the thing is consistency with it, though. You have to you have to really be consistent if you want to see the gains and want to see your body transform. I went a little harder than normal at the end of last year, again with the challenge, and I've been staying consistent with it all the way up until now. So that is the main thing with weightlifting, is you have to be consistent and you have to inch up. So if you're doing 5-pound weights today, stay with 5-pound weights for like a month or for a couple of weeks, and then inch up into 10 pounds and keep that going, because what you want to see is definitely gains in your body, transformation in your body, because you're going to, depending on what you want to do, you're going to either shred out or you're going to get bulky. And a lot of women, you know, kind of shy away from weightlifting because, oh my God, I'm going to look like a man. And I hope that you can see that you don't. You won't look like a man, but you will get that definition and that leanness that you're looking for. It's just life-changing is what it is. So.
And she's wearing long sleeves, so you cannot see her arms, but I did post a picture of her amazing arms on our face on my Naked Truth Facebook page and on my Facebook page. So you should definitely check that out because her arms are amazing. And you haven't, and just to clarify, you haven't had plastics on your arms, right?
No, I have, and I still have the little bat wingy stuff, so it's, you know, that's still an issue. I would love to have brachioplasty, but yeah, no matter how much weightlifting I do, that still remains. So I'm still working on it.
See, that's one of the perks of being a guy, is that we can get bulky. So
yeah.
Like, my arm is completely filled out now.
Yeah. So it is, Pete? Like, you don't feel like, I mean, I've seen your arms, and they look pretty perfect to me, but I'm just like, there's nothing there that you're hiding?
No, I've got about, like, maybe a centimeter. Like in my deep armpit, that's like hanging skin, but you know, I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, the centimeters.
Just work a little bit more on your triceps, Pete, and you'll fill that out.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next Facebook question comes from Amy, VSG to be the real me, and if you don't know, she's one of our Aussie friends. So welcome, Amy. She wants to know how you guys keep up the energy to work out without feeling lightheaded or faint. How do you eat enough to sustain you throughout your workout, or do you do protein shakes? So let's start with Pete this time.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is if you're feeling faint when you're working out is because you're not fueling yourself properly. I mean, a lot of people, there's this, and I've talked to Jennifer about this before, is there was like 10 years ago, there was a big push. It's like, you have to work out on an empty stomach so that you can get rid of the fat around your center, you know, and it's not the way to do it. You need to have some kind of a meal before you work out, like a balanced meal, like with, you know, protein, carbs, fats, you know, just a balanced meal of some kind. Yeah. And drink your water. Like, I drink water, probably about 1 bottle of water every half hour that I work out while I'm working out. So, I mean... So
you want to eat that before you work out?
You want to have
at least an hour, yeah.
Yeah, you want to have something before. I mean, don't wake up, you know, roll out of bed and then go to the gym, you know.
I'm just clarifying. I've listened to you, Pete. I eat breakfast now before I go work out. I'm just clarifying for the audience. So, and then you're saying you should also have something to eat after you work out, right?
Well, yeah, but it doesn't have to be like immediately after. I mean, really, I mean, yeah, if you're fine-tuning it right after is maybe optimal, but if it's an hour later or, you know, 2 hours later even, you're probably okay. But I mean, if you're feeling faint, obviously, then you should eat.
Okay, but now let's go back to the very beginning when you were like newer post-op and it was harder to get in those calories. Yeah. What did you do then?
Well, you still have to eat, but you're just not eating as much. I mean, you just have to have some fuel to burn through while you're doing the exercise, and then, you know, the calories that you're consuming when you're exercising, you know, it's not just what you eat. It's burning the fat off your body. But you want to have a little bit in your system so that, you know, you don't get to that point of passing out, right?
Right, right. And to answer the second part of her question, you do actually still do protein shakes, don't you, Pete?
Well, I do, but me, it's more for convenience. I just, like, after I work out, I don't want to cook, so I have.
So, do you mean, are you trying to say, like, you don't have to do protein shakes, but for you, you choose to?
Right, right.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can have, like, a tuna sandwich or half a tuna sandwich, actually. It's probably more appropriate for us, but, you know, you don't have to have a protein shake.
And how about you, Takesha, what do you think?
I feel the same way. I've been reading a lot and just trying to get a little bit more honed in on fueling my body properly. But yeah, at least an hour before you work out, you really want to get in, like you said, a balanced, just a snack. It doesn't have to be anything, you know, crazy, anything big. Just a snack. It could be yogurt. It could be, you know, some. You can have peanuts, or you can have, you know, cashews, or just something in your stomach, something in you that's going to help you burn off what it is that you're needing. So I would say an hour before and no later than an hour after for me, just so you're going through that, you know, restoration process, and, you know, you have something in you, something good in you that's going to help you, you know, restore everything that you've torn up, you know, while you were working out. So that's what I suggest. And water, water, water. I still have issues with my water, but water is key as well. Just keeping your body, you know, with the fluids.
Yeah, that's another. Oh, she kind of cut out, but I'll just jump in then.
Yeah, go ahead, Pete.
Another great thing about protein shake is because you're taking in your water at the same time as your meal. I mean, that's kind of an obstacle that, yes, weight loss people get into, right? Because we can't drink right after we've eaten.
Yes,
right.
That was my next
so
question.
That's a big bonus having protein shake is you get in some water and you get your meal at the same time. So that's the bonus. Yeah.
So she looks like her call dropped. Hopefully she'll be back. So I have a question for the two of you then, because this is my problem. So I eat breakfast and then I go work out right away. Maybe like 10 minutes later I'm at the gym. And then I start with cardio usually, and I'm so thirsty. Like, but I don't want to drink because I still wait for an hour after I eat. What do you guys do? How do you get in your water?
I'll drink first. Like that's the first thing I do in the morning is I have a bottle of water. Yeah. I mean every day, and you know that's first thing, because then just get that out of the way kind of thing, you know.
Well, and I'm a little bit different too, because I normally work out right after I get off work. So what I normally do is I've had breakfast and lunch and been very well hydrated, and then as I'm going to the gym, I'll eat a bag of jerky, or I'll eat a Quest bar, or I'll eat, you know, something to fuel myself before I actually get started in my workout, and that way I can actually do my workout without getting faint.
Yeah.
So, Takesha, welcome back. We were just talking about, that's okay. We were just talking about the water, like how if you're eating before a workout, how do you also get your water in during the workout? What do you do about that?
And that's where the hour comes in. So if you're eating like an hour before you work out, my rule is the 30-30-30, and I'm sure a lot of gastrics or just a lot of WLS patients hopefully still abide by that. But 30 minutes before you eat, and then 30 minutes after you eat, water. So that way you can, you know, if you plan it an hour before you eat, you can still be able to, you know, get your water in while you're working out. And then, of course, after the fact, as long as you're eating after an hour after, you're good. So with that, as long as you're doing 30 minutes after you eat, you know, by that time you should be at the gym and you should be good. You should be good to go. So that's kind of how I tackle it.
Okay. See, I haven't heard 30. I've been doing an hour. I've been waiting an hour after I eat.
Oh.
Really?
I feel like
that's a long time.
Right?
Yeah,
maybe at this point I could do a half hour.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
That's what my nutritionist.
Yeah.
That's been
That's
my
my
rule from the
nutritionist.
beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it depends. Definitely fresh out from surgery, that
Yeah.
window is a lot smaller. Like, I don't know how, if Takesha's 30-30 still applies, do you still have to wait, like, if you drink something, do you still wait 30 minutes before you eat? Because I don't have to wait any longer. Like, I can just drink, and then when I'm done drinking, start eating.
Oh, she dropped. But
Oh.
Pete, me too. I can drink. I
Yeah.
can drink and then eat right away. It's the drinking after that I'm hesitant on.
Yeah.
How about you, Scott?
Yeah. I can drink directly before eating, and really, I don't have a problem drinking directly after eating. It just I worry about it making me not have satiety in the long run. So that's the reason why I wait, regardless of whether it's an issue or not.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
It's okay. It happens sometimes. So I don't know if you heard Pete's question, but he wanted to know if you still had to wait 30 minutes before you 30 minutes before you say it, Pete. I can't get it out.
After you've had your drink, do you still have to wait 30 minutes before you start eating?
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's just something I do. I have especially at work, I'm so much more structured, and I'm sure a lot of other people can attest to that.
Mm.
But so when I get to work, normally I'll eat something, and then I'll wait 30 minutes, and normally I drink coffee. So I'm gonna drink my coffee, and then I wait a little bit after that, and then I get to my water, and then I wait a little bit after that. So my 30 minutes after that, and around 10:30, I'm eating my morning snack. So I go eat, drink, eat, drink, eat, drink. That's me all day at work.
I do the exact same thing. Like, that's how my day is structured. It's like,
Yeah.
I eat, I wait, I drink,
Yeah.
I wait, I drink.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much it. And me and my lunch bag are pretty much the same every single day. So I'm a habitual eater. I will normally have as my morning snack yogurt with a little bit of granola and some whipped cream. That's like the highlight of my day. And then I'll drink and then I'll eat a little something, just a little snack before I go to my workout. And then by the time I've gotten there and gotten heated up, I'm ready to drink again. So, it's for me, it's just I have to have some type of structure, or I kind of fall to pieces. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Scott, I'm going to let you go ahead and ask your question first, and then we'll go to live questions.
Sure. My first one is for Takesha. I wanted to know where you got your mad ninja pipe twirling skills. Those are awesome. I love that video.
So this one time at band camp, I am a band geek to the T. I have been in band since, I want to say, 6th grade, and 9th grade is when I was able to get into flags and rifles, and that's pretty much where it started. Eons ago, I was in band, and so I was like co-captain in my senior year, and I absolutely love it. If I could teach it, I would absolutely love to teach flags and rifle. But yeah. So
that looked like an awesome workout.
It was like I was like, what else could I do? What kooky thing could I do for today?
Right.
And that's what I did. So.
Yeah, awesome.
I loved it because I was also in the flag corps. So
yeah.
In high school. But I was not as good as you. I watched the video, I'm like, oh, I wasn't at that level. We were a little more basic in Iowa.
Well, thank you.
Okay, so my second question is for you, Pete, and I want to just sit at the feet of the master and learn a little bit about how you work out. Like, can you tell me, like, how do you get yourself so stinking buff? Right. I just want to know.
Well, I mean, it's okay. First of all, building muscle is hard. Okay,
Yeah.
It takes a long time, and you have to be, like Takesha said, you have to be consistent with it. You have to, minimum 3 times a week,
Right.
working. Otherwise, and you have to keep building, like she said, you have to keep, this, keep pushing the weight.
Yeah.
Every month at
Right.
least, you should be at a different weight. And
Yeah.
but it's that consistency is really the, I mean, that's your consistency, your intensity, and I guess
Right.
nutrition for that, right?
Right. Right. So,
I mean,
so can you talk me through like what some of your just kind of like what a normal day, like a normal week consists for you as far as your weight regimen goes?
oh, okay.
What exercises?
Well, I basically go through I'm on like a 4-day sort of plan right now, where I'll do like one day chest and tricep, then I'll do like shoulders and legs, then I'll do back and biceps, and then I'll do like deadlifts and whatever I feel like my body could take after deadlifts.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it varies what I do, but I mean, I try and keep it the same core. Like, let's take today, for example. Today was the back and biceps.
Right.
I started with doing some wide grip pull-ups.
Yeah.
And then I did some neutral grip pull-ups. And then what did I do? Then I did a chest exercise because my back was pretty torched, right? So I was like,
yeah, right.
I'll just do a chest exercise, not heavy weight, just to get the blood flowing, kind of thing.
Right.
To recover from the previous day.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I forget what I did next, but I mean, I'll just alternate. Like I'll do some rowing exercises, and then I'll do some barbell curls maybe. And I just kind of go through like that. And I think I do about 7 to 8 different exercises each day, and that's
okay.
Because I'm here for a long time. But really, you want to shoot for about 5.
Yeah.
Do you do cardio?
So how long do you spend each day in the gym?
I do about. I'm trying to actually cut it down because, as you know, I'm having a problem eating enough. So, but I generally do 90 minutes is what I like to do. Like that's when I feel like I've accomplished enough. But really, I think 70 minutes is where I'm trying to shoot.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a long time, but the reason why that's so long is because I still can't do a lot of the compound exercises. Like I can't do a bench press because my back is all curved and it doesn't sit right. So I have to do separate exercises to the same effect, basically.
Right.
Do you do cardio every day too?
Not
4 days.
Not really, but I mean, I generally bike to the gym. And then if I feel like it, I'll bike a little bit longer after. So I mean, that's my cardio. And when I get to the gym, I do like maybe 5 minutes, like on the treadmill. Like if I haven't done anything, just to get the blood flowing a little bit. But I'm at a different place than a lot of people. I'm trying to gain, so I mean, I have to really limit the cardio.
Okay, yeah, you are. Okay, so how about you, Takesha? What do you do?
Well, right now, as far as the weightlifting, I tend to, if I'm going straight weightlifting, then I kind of, I'm kind of not doing any kind of cardio. So I'll go in and I may just do a light walk on the treadmill, and then from there, or I'll do some type of aerobic activity in the studio, and then from there I'll go and whatever day it is, that's what I'll focus on. And normally, like you said, Pete, it's about 5 exercises that I try to focus on. So if I'm doing, back and chest, it's going to be 5, really good exercises. I'm going to do that for 10 to 12 reps each, and I'm going to do at least 4 sets of that. So I normally have like a set plan for the day, and that's really key as well. So consistency, planning is number 2 on the list of things that you want to do. So if you're going to plan for the day, that's great, but planning for the week is better because then you have a greater outlook as to what you're wanting to accomplish for that week instead of just that day. So going in with the plan, knowing what it is that you want to do, and how long each movement is going to take is not really you know, you don't have to have that set in stone, but just know what I'm going in to do. So, and
this is the first time I've heard somebody say 4 sets, because I usually hear 2 to 3 sets of 12, 10 to 12.
yeah. Well,
so you do 4.
Yeah, 4, and that's normally what I have found on. I work a lot with Bodybuilding.com. It has a slew of great information. So if you're looking to get into weightlifting, Bodybuilding.com is a great resource. And a lot of their trainings include 4 sets. So that's what I do.
Is that where I was going to ask, like, where did you get your ideas of, like, you're talking about plan your day, where do you get those ideas to plan? Okay, bodybuilding.com.
Bodybuilding.com when it comes to weightlifting, when it comes to my cardio and what you see as far as my videos and things that I post on FB or Instagram, that comes from me. That's totally stuff that I just, like, think up, or if there was one that got a lot of buzz, and that was when I did the whip nay nay, and that was something that I actually saw on YouTube, and I was like, man, I want to try that, and I did, and it was a great workout, but that was more of a step workout. So, yeah.
Are you a fitness instructor?
No, but I am working on that, and I want to get my license in group fitness as well as personal training.
Oh, I could see you being, like, so good at that. Yeah.
I bet your gym would let you teach a step class even now.
That is what I'm working. That is what I'm working on. I'm trying to pull some strings right now. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay, let's go to some live questions. I have some questions as well, but I want to make sure we get the live questions in. So first one is from Cartwheel VSG. Welcome. Thank you for watching. Mm-hmm. This is a question for everyone. When did you declare your goal weight? Did you change or modify it? She says that her goal weight range is lower than it's ever been, so I have a higher weight goals, and I will see how I feel when I get there. Okay, so the question again was, when did you declare your goal weight? Did you modify it? That's it. Okay, so Pete, when did you declare your goal weight, and did you modify it?
I modified it so many times. The thing is, when you're starting out at a really high weight like I was, it doesn't even seem conceivable that, like I think my first goal weight was 250. I'm like, if I can get to 250, then, you know, I'm, like, still fat, but I'm okay, you know, like,
right.
You can live in this world at 250, so that was my first goal. But as that was coming, I'm like, no, it's going well. We're just going to keep on going. It just changed and got lower and lower and lower. So.
And how about you, Scott?
When I first started out, I had this idea in my head that I wanted to hit 220, and that was the goal I set from the very beginning, and that was the goal I met. I dipped below it by a couple of pounds, and that was for like a couple of days, and then it came right back above. So I think my original goal was a good goal, and I've been shooting to get back there ever since. But you know, I think at this point, my goal has shifted, because it's not, to me, it's not about the weight anymore. It's about fitness. It's about reaching different fitness levels. It's about being able to lift more. It's about being able to work out for longer or run farther. And it has a whole lot less to do about what a stupid number on a scale says as to how I actually feel.
That's awesome.
And how about you, Takesha?
I love that, first of all, because I think we get so wrapped up in the number, and it kind of like dictates our day or our week as to what that number says, and that is wonderful. That's a wonderful outlook on it. So my original goal weight is, and I'm thinking about changing it, but is 135, and like I said, I'm 147. So, you know, really with fitness, you kind of got to have other things going on, because if you continue to look at the weight and the scale, you're going to really get discouraged, and it's really going to like kind of jack you up as to how far you really want to go on this thing. This is not like a 3-month thing or a 2-year thing. This is lifelong. So, you know, I posted a couple of days ago, you know, I am and will probably always be a work in progress. And you have to kind of see yourself as that. What do you want your goals to be, not just with your weight, but with your fitness? You know, do you want to run a 10K? Do you want to be able to, you know, play outside with your kids if you're just starting out? You know, what are your goals? And they can't just be about numbers. So, yeah. That's where I'm at.
Okay, while I agree with everything you're saying,
you still need that number.
I still want to get to that number. So my highest weight was 323, and my first goal was to get to my surgeon's goal, which was to lose 80 pounds. I got there no problem. I got down to 130 pounds lost, and then it stopped. And I wanted to lose a total, for me, I wanted to lose a total of 160. So I still have 30 pounds to go. I actually gained a little bit, and then I've lost it over the last few months working my butt off, because it gets really, really hard when you get further out. You got to work really, really hard. So I've lost like 11 pounds in the last 4 weeks working really, really hard. But, but that the weird thing is that because I'm doing the weightlifting, so I'm just now just a little bit lower than my lowest weight since surgery, but my size has changed. I've gone down a size, and I've lost only like 1 pound like lower than my lowest weight. So I'm like, how did that happen?
That's the thing. As soon as you start lifting weights, Jen, the scale really doesn't mean anything anymore, because you're putting on muscle, and it's going to look like you're not losing weight, or it's going to look like you're gaining weight, but you really aren't, because you're gaining muscle.
So, well, on one hand, I do want to get to that goal. I want to lose a total of 160, so 30 more pounds. I also have this physical goal of of getting strong that I care a lot about. So that's actually more important to me than getting to the number, but I would love to see that number. That would be nice.
You'll see the
like
number.
I've always said, you know, everybody wants to lose 20 pounds, Jen.
Okay.
Everybody wants to lose 20 pounds. I don't care who you talk to. In the entire world, everybody wants to lose 20 pounds. That's just the way it is.
I'm going to be the freak that says, no, if I lose 20 pounds, I'll be so upset.
Except for Pete wants to gain 20 pounds of muscle. So everybody else wants to lose 20 pounds except for Pete.
Okay, actually, let me quickly tell you who's watching us live. At least these are people who've said that they're watching right now. Sister Scaleback, RNY, Tony BSG, Scotty RNY, Lori White, Brand's BSG story. Okay, so Scotty RNY has a message for Pete. He's also Canadian. I didn't realize Scotty was Canadian. That's awesome, Scotty. He had his... Wait, say it again?
I don't think I've connected with him.
You should. He's a newbie. He was one of my newbies of the week.
Oh, okay.
So he had RNY in Toronto with Dr. Hagen. Okay, let's see if there's any more questions on here. Okay, this is from Tony VSG. What are everyone's thoughts on whey protein versus whey protein isolate? So we'll start with Takesha.
There are so many things out there. I do know that whey protein isolate is a lot better for you than just the whey protein. You're getting a lot more of the protein versus the whey protein just by itself. Me personally, as I'm trying to get onto this vegan, vegetarian front, I've been doing a lot of the instant protein that 6-Star has, and it's really, really good. It's a vegetarian option. You can get it at Walmart. It's priced pretty nice. It's $10, but there's so many other great products out there for vegetarians and vegans that you can definitely try. But that's just something that I'm working on it now. But yeah, weight isolate is a lot better, and you're getting a lot more bang for your buck as far as the protein goes. So I would definitely opt for that versus just the whey protein.
You know, I didn't know you were leaning towards more vegetarian, vegan, which is, I think, is so cool. I was a vegetarian before surgery, and it just, for me, it was a lot easier to not be a vegetarian after surgery. But and for me, it's just, I just don't enjoy meat. That's the reason why I'm a vegetarian, because I just don't enjoy it. And I'm at a point now where I like can almost like not stomach it. I dislike it so much. So I've been thinking I need to look more into higher protein vegetarian options for me. So you and I will have to talk vegetarian. More later.
Yeah, I've been vegetarian since February of last year. So just working on the protein shakes as far as being more vegetarian on that front.
Do you eat meat?
No, do not eat meat.
Okay. So back to Tony's question though. For Pete, what do you think about the whey protein versus whey protein isolate?
Well, the thing about isolate is it's, like she said, it's a more refined whey. It's the most easily digestible portion of the milk, basically. So I mean, definitely right out of surgery, I mean, you want to be looking at the isolate just because it's easier to digest, and it also tends to be a little bit. It's thinner as well. Like it doesn't make it thick of a shake. So first out of surgery, that's usually what they recommend. And as you go like farther and farther out, you can go to lower and lower grades if it's economical for you. It doesn't really matter. You can go by taste and cost after that, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Just have a couple more live questions, and then I want to get to my questions before we run out of time. This one is from Catherine Dadson on YouTube. She's Sister Scaleback. She wants to know, what advice do you each have for those of us who have bad knees from years of being obese when it comes to weightlifting, especially squatting and deadlifts?
Don't do that.
Yeah, great question, actually. Okay, so Scott, you're shaking your head.
Yeah, I'd say when it comes to squats, don't do them. When it comes to deadlifts, don't do them. If you have bad knees, don't do them until you lose some weight and your knees are better. Do things like getting in the pool and doing, leaps out of the pool to where you're actually using those muscles, but you're not actually doing a whole lot of damage to the ligaments. Just be real careful about lifting if you have bad knees.
Would you agree with that, Takesha?
Definitely. There are so many alternatives to doing the deadlifts and doing the squats. There are alternatives to everything. So you really want to research and look into, if you're wanting to still do that type of exercise, definitely look into see what are the alternatives to things like that, because there are, and you just need to research and see what's out there for you. But yeah, water aerobics is a great way to still do those type of workouts, but not have so much burden on your knees.
Mm-hmm. Pete, I know you've dealt with a lot of back issues.
Yeah, I think you have to determine what severity your knees are. I mean, are you talking like a bone-on-bone situation, or are you just talking about inflammation of your joints, or you have weak knees? I mean, there's different situations where you have to do different things, but I think it's important in any of them you have to work your knee. I mean, because you have knee problems doesn't mean you shouldn't be working exercises that involve your knee. You have to strengthen the muscles and everything around the knee. Otherwise, it's just going to deteriorate, and you're not going to, it's not going to get better. I was in that situation, my back. I mean, I have a cleft vertebrae and fractured vertebrae and twisted spine and all these different things, but I still do exercises. You just have to start with a simpler, low-impact exercise, and over months and months and months, you work your way up.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think she could ever do squats?
Yeah, I mean...
Eventually.
I mean, it depends. I mean, she's not going to probably be putting 300 pounds on her back and doing squats, but There's lots of other alternatives. For example, if you're doing squats, like one way a lot of people start out is you put, that big ball, I forget what it's called, the exercise ball. You put it in the small of your back on the wall, and your knees. So your knees are not exactly up and down straight; they're out a lot more, so that you're not putting that same flex in your knee when you're doing it. So you can squat down just by rolling down the wall on the ball, basically. That's like a beginner squat would be something like that.
Right.
And I have a lot of joint issues and back issues and knee issues. So I was running for a while. I did the Couch to 5K program until I injured my knees and I couldn't run anymore. And I got to a point where I realized, after being grossly morbidly obese for over a decade of my life, I have to accept the fact that I'm not going to be a runner. It's just not in the cards for me. So for me, my thing is listen to your body. Do what you can to strengthen it. Like I do weights because I know like there are gonna be days where my knees are gonna be flaring up, and I'm gonna need all those other muscles to carry me through when my knees are being weak, or my back especially is very, very weak. So I work really hard on strengthening my back. But listen to your body, do what you can, and just don't injure yourself. Because that will slow it all, the whole process down.
Definitely.
Okay. Bronze VSG Story, she wants to know how much should you increase your protein and calories when you start working out? You want to start here?
Me.
Yeah,
okay,
Pete, go for it, Pete.
I think, start working out. Okay, what are you doing for workouts? That's the biggest thing I want to say, because I mean, if you're just doing cardio, maybe you don't have to worry so much about the protein increase. But if you're doing strength training, then 20 grams of protein. That's just a bit more,
So 20 grams.
I think 20 grams is because when you look at it, I mean, look at the numbers on the large scale, you're gaining 1 or 2 pounds of muscle at most per month. So that's, a few grams a day. So yeah.
Okay, Pete, let's get specific, okay? With me. I know you can do this in our private time, but let's just do it right now. Okay, so Pete, every day I walk a 5K every day. That's my goal. So approximately an hour every day of walking plus 30 minutes of weightlifting. I eat 60 grams of protein. I have a hard time getting my protein in. Should I up it? Should I try to get more than 60 grams?
Yeah, I think 60 is a little bit low. I think 60 is like when you're at goal weight and you're no longer working out, you're at 60.
Yeah.
Okay. When you still have some extra weight on you and you're working out intensely, then you definitely want to go higher. 80, 100 kind of range.
Well, and for a
80
woman,
what?
80 to 100, I think, is a good general ballpark.
Well, and for a woman, 60 grams of protein will keep you from losing muscle mass. And if you're wanting to gain a little bit of muscle mass, you need to get a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
But I just want to point out, this is like a realization that I came to, recently. We always give these recommendations for how much protein should people eat. But it really depends on their total calories and what their total diet is like. Because if you're eating 80 grams of protein and you're not having any carbs or fats, I'm sorry, but that 80 grams of protein is going to be used just as your daily energy expenditure, and you're not going to have any protein left to build muscles. So you have to, I mean, there's like you have to look at the whole picture when you really look at these
Right.
So, Takesha, just to piggyback on that, like, how are you do you get in like 100 grams of protein?
It really depends on what I'm doing, and the biggest misconception when you're vegetarian is that you're not able to get in your protein, but it's really how you work whatever program you're on, if you're a vegetarian or if you're eating regular meat or whatever. But for me, yes, you can get in anywhere between 65 and up to 100, just depending on the day and what my what my food is looking like. But I do a lot of burgers, or I'm doing the Gardein, or I'm doing tempeh, I'm doing seitan, or seitan, however you say it. I'm doing some form of that on top of eating vegetables, and you never know. I mean, the amount of protein that you're getting in your vegetables can really be surprising to some. So you really have to kind of look at your day, and again, look at what you're doing. Is going back to planning and figure, okay, for my day, what do I need to make sure that I'm going to get everything in, as well as be able to sustain and not be, lightheaded and not feel like I'm going to die or pass out. So, yeah, looking at your day, looking at your week is really how you're going to plan your meals. So, brown rice is great, for the carb. If you're wanting to, get that carb in, do a cup of rice, brown rice, and then if you're eating meat, do some lean chicken breasts, or do I don't know, some legumes if you're on the vegetarian front, and then you can have like a meat substitute. Normally for a Boca burger is 15 grams of protein, so I could do 1.5 of those on top of a small thing of rice, and get about almost 30 grams of protein in for that meal, just depending on what else I have going on.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you say rice. Do you eat rice?
I do eat rice. Mm-hmm. And I know that's like a no-no.
Okay. No, I eat carbs too, and because Pete told me to.
Leave it on Pete. Yeah.
Yeah, call Pete. The Pete, you eat carbs, right? You eat carbs. Like oatmeal and...
Oh, I eat 500 grams of carbs a day, so I'm free. So...
So, Dakisha, do you try to keep your carbs to like a minimum? Like, do you worry about that?
I do worry about my carbs, even though I do eat carbs. So I used to eat oatmeal a little bit, but I got away from that. But yeah, I eat brown rice, or I'll eat regular rice, or I will eat quinoa, or I'll eat vegetables. Which really consumes my day is a lot of vegetables, eating apples and bananas and grapes and things. I mean, all of that is carbs when you come down to it, and you got to watch your sugars when you're eating those as well. So yeah, I mean, like at this point, I'm depending upon your fitness level and where you are in your journey as far as your meals and your meal planning. Me personally, I'm going to eat what I feel like eating, and making sure that I'm eating for my goals and not just eating because my bariatric surgeon told me, well, these are the things that I should be eating. No, at this point, I'm eating for my goals. And so you want to determine what your goals are and eat accordingly to those. So for newbies, though, I would say eat to where your surgeon says, you should be taking in, at least 40 to 60 grams of protein a day. You should be getting in your water, at least, 60 to, I'm going to say 60 to 85 ounces of water a day. You should be trying to push that in, getting that base, getting that foundation. And then when you get to the point where you're good, just be like, okay, well, how do I eat according to my goals?
Yeah, I should point out that we're all over a year out of surgery.
Yeah.
So we're in a different place than somebody who's just had surgery, and how important it is to follow what your surgeon tells you and your nutritionist tells you. We're just sharing our experiences, which from my experience, everyone's surgeon says something different anyway. So.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we are almost out of time. Actually, we are out of time, but I did have a question that I wanted to ask both of you. You know, like you're both in such great physical health at this present time, and you're such wonderful examples for us to look up to. But I know it wasn't always that way. So can you tell us about like your low point? What point? Where were you at when you said, "That's it, I have to make this huge, drastic life change of surgery"? Like, where were you when that happened? And we'll start with Tiger or Scott. I always call you Tiger.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
On this one. So Scott.
Well, actually, when I hit my highest, which is also my lowest,
I'm gonna
had
say I didn't hear the question.
I had just gained back all of my weight that I had lost the year before that. I had gone on phentermine and I had lost about 80 pounds at that point in time, and over about a year, it all came back on, and the doctor said, well, we have to take you off this medicine. There's not really much else we can do, but you could try surgery. And, I kind of hemmed and hawed about it, but I came to the point where I was like, either I need to choose to be fat and choose that I'm going to die young without kids, and that just be my life, or I need to do something drastic. And so that's when I chose to have surgery. And after making that decision, I've never looked back. It's been the best decision I've ever made.
Awesome. So, Takesha, the question was, what was the point where you decided I need to have surgery, to take that huge, drastic step of having surgery? What was that? Where were you at in that point in your life? Oh, I think she's frozen.
No.
Okay, so Pete, we'll go to you.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, I was in a really bad place health-wise. I mean, I have an autoimmune liver disease, which means I have very low energy capacity, and then I broke my back, so I had very low mobility, and on top of that, I had the weight. So the first two things I couldn't do anything about, really. So I had to take an extra step to tackle the weight, and that's how surgery came about for me.
So you broke your back before you had surgery. Was that like really the turning point for you when you broke your back?
Well, yeah, because when you broke your back and you're 370 some odd pounds, I mean, I couldn't walk for 3 weeks when I broke my back. I mean, literally, I just couldn't walk for 3 weeks. So that's not good.
Yeah. So, Takesha, I don't know if you heard the question. Takesha?
Uh-oh, she can't hear us now.
Oh, no.
I
really want to hear her answer, too. Can you hear us, Takesha? Takesha? No, she can't hear us. Okay. Well, maybe she can write the answer down below. Can you hear us? No, she can't. Okay. So, thank you everybody for joining us this evening. I did put a link to everyone's channel in the description box below. Scott, Pete, and Takesha. And I just thank you guys for being here and sharing your stories with us. Oh, you're here. Okay. Oh, she said I can't hear.
She can't hear. Yeah, that's what she's saying.
So let's do big waves so she knows we're saying goodbye now. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.